Today, we are going to do a sharing with you guys about the differences in classroom rules and college activities and between Taiwan and Japan. Here's a outline overview. First, we are going to make a briefly introduction on both Taiwan and Japan, their education system and environment. And secondly, we are going to share the comparison between the classroom rules and the school activities from our perspective. And finally, giving our conclusion. And here's an introduction. The educational environment in Taiwan and Japan, while both deeply rooted in cultural values, exhibit notable differences in classroom rules and school activities. In Taiwan, classroom rules often emphasize respect, participation, and discipline. Teachers maintain a more authoritative rules, and students are expected to engage more actively in lesson, adhering to a structured approach. Extracurricular activities in Taiwan are diverse, ranging from academic clubs to sports, often fostering a competitive spirit and encouraging teamwork. Conversely, Japan places a emphasis on harmony and group dynamic in both classroom rules and school activities. Students are encouraged to take responsibility for their own behavior and the uh, cleanness of their surroundings, fostering a sense of community. School activities, particularly cultural and seasonal events, often highlight traditional practice and college collective participation, promoting unity and school spirit. And both education systems reflect their unique cultural values, shaping how students learn and interact within their schools.
Okay, now let's move on to a classroom role comparison. Next page. Next. Because of a time limit, we pick out some special points to mention, and first is the class duration. In Taiwan, we often have 50 minutes each class, but in Japan, they also range from 90 to 100 minutes, and both countries also have a 10 minutes break between each classes. Additionally, Japanese first class usually start from 9 o'clock, but in Taiwan, the first class usually start from 8 o'clock. And the next point, the food and drink policy. In Taiwan, the food and drink policy is less strict, and professors and teachers wouldn't stop or wouldn't stop their students to eat breakfast in class. So we can also see a lot of classmates eating their breakfast in the morning. But in Japan, the food and drink policy is much more strict. They, they wouldn't permit their students to eat and drink during classes. And the next point is a phone in class. In Taiwan, the phone can see anywhere. You can see students put their phone on the table and also put their phone in class or use their phone to search information. But in Japan, the phone can't on the table. The teacher put emphasis on the serious atmosphere, so they wouldn't allow their students to put their phone on the table. And next point is a career planning. In Taiwan, students always look for career after graduation. But in Japan, students often look for their career from third year. They join a lot of career opportunities, job fairs and interviews and company visits, and begin preparing their resumes and self-introduction. And finally, I would like to mention a special point is the next point is the water dispensers. In Taiwan, the water dispensers is common. You can see at least one on each floor anywhere. But in Japan, the water dispensers is rare. And in summary, the differences in classrooms rules between Taiwan and Japan reflects the unique education, philosophies, and cultural values of each countries. Okay.
And next, I will talk about the school activities. Next, and the first is comes to the clubs, and because of the different cultures, so each country has their own special clubs. Just like Japan, they have the Kendo Club, and always and practice very hard to join many international competitions. But for Taiwan, we just lots of time we just practice it for fun, but not for a competition. And in Taiwan, we also have the special club called the Spring Sunshine Club. I was one of the participants of this in my senior high school, and we go anywhere to pick up the cigarette butts and the trash on the ground. And it sounds boring, but actually, after we done that, we just can walk around there to buy some drink and buy some food. And we just need to remember take over our trash to the school and go to our class before the next class gets started. And also the attitude to a senior is different. In Japan, when a junior see a senior, they just need to greet politely. But in Taiwan, we're just more like friends. And if we familiar with each other, we just walk by and say hi. But if we're not familiar with each other, we just walk by without saying anything. And this is the attitude between Japan and Taiwan's clubs. And next is the cultural and the university festival. And the holding time is different. The cultural festival will hold on the autumn, and the university will hold on spring to summer about at April. And the point of it is also different. The cultural festival will be focused on the performance, student performance, and set up their own stands. But the university festival will be focused on the introduce the school facilities and new classes to let the new students to understand their new school more. So based on this, who they focus on also different because just as we say that the cultural festival focus on the performance and the stands. So most of the university wants everyone to join this and have fun together. But the university festival will be focused on the freshmen because it is the introduction of school. So the clothing will be also different. The traditional clothing is focused on the culture, but the university festival, because the school introduction, maybe they need to walk in the school anywhere. So the casual clothing is the best for it. And next, Phoebe will share the sports day difference in Taiwan and Japan for us.
About Sports Day, I would say Taiwan always hold this event in summer because I think Taiwan doesn't have spring and autumn. It's always hot in here. Unlike Japan, they hold this event in spring and autumn. Maybe because the weather is more comfortable. And the contest. In Taiwan, the contents of competition are more common, such as running, relay race, and tug of war. And Japanese would add some special contest, like roll a big ball, throw a small ball to a high basket, and ride into the fly, which is a group of people carry a person who wears a hat and to snatch others' hat. And in these events, both would have a performance, but in Taiwan, I often see the pop dance, but in Japan, they may perform some traditional dance or music. Next. This is a special event in Japan because Taiwan doesn't have this event. In Japan, they may attend this activity in 20 years old, and they will concentrate on dressing. They wear traditional clothes and they will take commemorate pictures, also hold a ceremony and performance. But in Taiwan, if we don't have the mood to celebrate the 18 years old birthday, we do nothing. I remember when I my 18th birthday, I just lay in my bed and sleep all day. But some people will get excited. They might celebrate with their friends or family and start drinking alcohol. Next. There's a conclusion. I think Japanese school add more traditional activities into their events than Taiwan. Maybe because uh, Taiwan influenced by K-pop and pop a lot. So a lot of performance is about these two types. And about the senior junior relationships, because we usually don't use honorifics. Also, the class rules are a bit different. So if we go to Japan to study, we should be careful about this. Doing this project made me learn more about Japanese university life, and it also can prevent me from breaking the rules when I go to Japan. And that's the end. Thank you, guys.